Do do do. We are getting ready. We are getting ready. We are getting
Five,
ready.
4, 3, 2.
One bass. Doom 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 doom. Boom 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 boom. Doom doom doom. Boom boom. We are a part of the Rhythm Nation. Woo! Don't ask. I don't know. I'm just saying shit. I'm just out here doing my best. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're getting ready to start, guys. For anyone who is going to come in, I want to make sure that we get all of the people aware that we are going live. Live is what we're doing.
We're going live.
We're going
In the prime time.
live. Don't you like it when we go live? Live is what we're doing. Live is what we're doing.
Are we live?
Yes. We're yes, we're live. I told you we were live. We're going live.
A big part of this entire thing, I've been on camera for like the last minute, maybe. Just letting you have your moment, maybe. Just letting you have your song.
I was
Just
just
waiting
Hi,
for
everybody.
the intro.
I was just getting, what I'm saying, I'm getting things together. I'm doing the things I got to do to get,
We're working on our life. All
you
of
know,
us.
doing our best. It's been 41 days since we did a last episode. You know what I mean? Like
That's because most everyone who probably does listen to us has equally been trying their best to just survive the
Listen,
last 41 days.
and real talk, we've been busy as shit. Like busy, busy.
Yeah, life did not slow down.
Mason, hi Mason.
Hey, we can always rely on Mason.
We could always listen. We could always rely on Mason. Hi, friend.
No one's gonna watch us today. We're all just coming back from looking almost 40 something days off.
Yeah,
Mason
listen.
pops in.
We have been. It's been so busy out here in these streets. We've been doing all kinds of things, but
Sheets.
oh god, like there's so much going on. Like this is we're literally pre-showing right now. I got a new mic, and so like, look, it's new, it's pretty.
I got a new monitor.
You got a new whole computer,
Yeah,
like a whole new computer.
yeah.
It's only
It's
been
so pretty.
3 years in the
I
making.
built it myself.
I did it
Really
myself.
more than
You
that.
sure did.
Yes, live spell backwards is evil.
Everything's working.
Guys, so listen. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Queer and Present Danger. My name is JB, and I have my two co-hosts here. Yeah, we were just exactly, Mason. Like, turns out we were all in caves deciding which of our limbs to consume next to stay alive. It's crazy out here. We're going to get there. We're not there yet. Like, we're going to get to it all. Because so much has happened. So much has happened.
We also will not be covering it all because, first off, 17 hours wouldn't cover it.
It's only been 6 months, guys. It's only been 6 months.
6 months.
It's only been 6 months. But we're going to get to as much as we possibly can on this episode. But before we do, I want to introduce my beloved co-hosts. I'm going to do things a little bit different this time, coming from an undisclosed location. Coming from Fort Knox, maybe maybe from a bunker somewhere in Germany, because he knows more than the rest of us do. Tyler, how are you?
Hello. I am
Oh, he's doing the
fabulous.
thing. Hi. Hold on a sec. I'm listening. How's life
I'm
going?
just getting the hair down.
Yeah, you are. You're getting the hair down.
Life has been insane, but yeah, it's been life's been lifing. Yeah, it's been
Listen,
lifing.
life has been lifing for all of us. Like real talk between you and your car AC issues. Tig's life.
Just my life. That's like there's no singular point. It's just my life.
Yeah, Tig's life. And really like
All of your activities.
oh my god. I'm like who how did this happen? Like when did I become a local celebrity? I don't understand. It's great and I love it and wonderful and all of those things, but also I'm tired. Um, speaking of, uh, Tyler, I'm so happy to see you and talk to you again today, and we can kind of get into all the things from the Tyler Dome. I love it, Tyler from the Tyler Dome. We also have our other co-host here. He's a dad. He's a daddy. He's a fantastic individual who everyone should have one in their lives. Tig. You're not gonna say anything to that? You're just gonna let that
No,
sit there?
I'm just letting that sit there because, as you were saying, it is all about like surviving right now. No, I am. Hi, everybody. If you can't tell by the enormous bags under my eyes, the end of the end of the month came around, and per usual, I lack sleep and coherence and brain cells as I herd a bunch of cats to finish the end of my month at work. And then we have people in town and family stuff going on this weekend, so it's so much fun.
You know what else is?
I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that we can share. You hold on a moment.
But why?
Because Daddy said so. The camera even had to adjust after that. I don't have to check these things, Mason. They drag on the ground behind me. They collect problems. Read the chat so you know what the chat was about.
I read the chat, but you're trying to say I'm a problem?
The bags under my
I was
eyes.
just giving you shit.
I'm just trying to make sure it's you. You ain't making this about you.
Have you met me?
About my tired ass.
Have you met me?
Facts. But we, I'm happy to be back. I'm gonna keep this as fun and interesting as I can because, as anyone who's watched our shows, I can get serious. I can get annoyed. I can start going down the dark rabbit hole of my mind. So I'm going to try to make sure that this time back is just for fun and sharing of knowledge and the happy little queer lives we all lead.
So maybe I shouldn't talk about
the and exorably being pushed toward oblivion by an administration who doesn't care about us.
Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about some of the topics that we have on here first, but okay.
Nah, we never shy away from shit as we should.
Yeah, well,
but doesn't mean that we aren't. I won't try to at least not go dark and evil with it.
Okay, well, we can do our best on that.
Yes.
Yes, he can.
Did you finally read Mason's comment?
I just okay. We're just gonna let that one sit there and hope for the best. And well, anyway, guys. Now that we've all introduced ourselves, and thank you all for coming and hanging out with us today as we kind of recap about what's been happening in the last couple of weeks. Don't forget to reread all of your chats that come through. So please make sure you chat and talk to us. We enjoy having that interaction with you guys, and talking, and reading your comments as they come up on the chat here. But the first thing that I want to talk about, before we get into anything else, because it's really the biggest story on the planet right now. Like, let's keep it 100 and be real. Donald Trump is on the Epstein list. Like, I'm sorry. Let's just call it what it is. That man is on the list. He is on. It's not the grocery list. It's not the, the to-do list. He is on that list. And what I find to be interesting personally about this is, like, this is entirely a self-own. Like, this is entirely a monster that he created, that he now has to contend with and deal with, and he wants nothing more than for the American people to stop talking about it. And the more excuses and the more things that he says just makes it worse. And it's like, we always thought, like, oh, he's really good at media. He's really good at, like, being at spin and all of that. He's really not.
No, this is a pathetic attempt to steer a conversation in a different direction. And it is also pathetic because I feel like it should be called out by so many people on the right that are trying to give the impression that there is nothing to see here. See, there's nothing to see here. Just ignore everything that's going on, because it's like you look at pre-information coming out that he's on the list, and people pre-election, everyone's like, oh, we can't wait to see how many of these entitled people, these politicians on the left, these celebrities, so forth, that are part of the Epstein list. We need it out there so we can fully drain this swamp. And then they're like, why are people still talking about this? Of course, what if he got on, just because he gets on a plane and goes to an island doesn't mean that he's a pedophile. Didn't you just say anyone associated with this man 6 months ago is a pedophile? It's insane.
Oh, no, I'm gonna get there. Because
we'll talk about that part, Mason. Yeah, but the point being, like, it is absolutely pathetic. And the argument that has been pushed by the right so much is like, well, what about Bill Clinton? What about all of these celebrities, all of these people?
Get them.
The left's response across the board. What if it's Hillary? What if it's Bill? What if it's... I'll even throw it in there. What if it's Obama?
No, wait a minute. We won't even put that in the universe.
I don't want to put it in the universe, but I'm making the point because people are trying to throw out, they're like, well, what if it's this person on there? My answer is the same. It could be 60 Democrats and 30 Republicans. Let's be honest, it's probably 90 Republicans and about 40 Democrats. But, because they all hide in the shadows on Grindr. But the point is, and the sheer number of Southern Baptist preachers that have been brought up on charges of pedophilia in the last couple of years is hilarious. It is the biggest bunch of BS out there. But we don't care. I want to make that very clear. I do not care who is on the list. If your name is on the list, if you're in a photo with one of those victims, one of those children, you deserve prison. Not even a happy-go-lucky prison. You need Gen Pop at a max security. Let these people that you've deemed less than you know what you've done and see how people react. That's what needs to be done for every one of them. Doesn't matter who they are, what their level of involvement was, what their level of fame or political power is. I do not care. If they're on the list, send them to jail. Every one of them. And the left, that's been our mantra. We don't care. Send them to jail. What about if it's this person? Send them to jail. What about this?
If I find out that Bill Clinton is on the Epstein list, I'm going to go take my Bill Clinton flag down. I'm going to take my Bill Clinton. You know what? Never mind. I don't have any of those things because we are not beholden to a specific man. We're not beholden to a specific person. We have ideals. We have, liberty. Yes, baby, I saw that. One 2 men enter and one couple leaves. You ain't shit for that, but I love it.
That's fantastic, Mason. We'll get to your other comments.
We'll get to your other comments.
I know so many of us are chomping at the bit about that.
But it's for me, it feels like, because we aren't beholden. I can sit here and say, that there were things that Barack Obama did that I found despicable and horrible. There are things that Bill Clinton I found despicable and horrible. There are things that Joe Biden did that I found despicable and horrible. But at the same time, I still, I can say those things, and it doesn't mean that I still don't support them. What Donald Trump's base does, and the Republican Party in general, is if you say something bad about the man, you all of a sudden are no longer a part of the group. You're no longer a part of their tribe, and you have to go along with everything that they do. And what you're watching right now in real time is MAGA tie themselves into knots to try to to justify the things that he is doing and the things that we are seeing happen in real time. The fact that someone on Twitter was like, honestly, and we know who it is. We're not going to say this person's name because really they're irrelevant to life. But to say that, like, well, in Donald Trump's time, like, it was nothing for, like, this being sexually involved with a 14-year-old was only seen as a bad thing in recent times. That used to be the norm and things like that. Well, I don't give a hot nut fuck how it used to be. I don't give a hot nut. Like, it's the fact that you did it, and at least the 2000s when that was not okay. It hasn't been okay.
At least 100 fucking years.
Yeah, I was gonna say the actual time that he's reaching back to is insane. Like,
but it's fine.
Numerous generations have,
because of course it was a black woman,
and gone since then.
And I say, of course, it was a black woman because I'm shocked that it was a black woman that said that, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's insane because it's one of those things of that reach is so far back that they reached all the way around and gave themselves a hand job. I mean, that was such a great comment. People are never gonna be able to defend that. Who the fuck? No one will defend that. That is a terrible take. Absolutely terrible take. Because guess what? It wasn't that it was uncommon. Yes, it occurred. It wasn't that it was fully, like, accepted. It was the fact that it was a norm because there were a bunch of pedophilic people who wanted to have sex with children. And the life expectancy was terrifying. Like, the flat-out life expectancy. So here, random fun Professor Tig moment, because Neil deGrasse Tyson actually brought this up in a podcast with he's a comedian.
I know what you're talking. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but I just watched this one with Mehdi Hassan, and it was amazing. But
yeah. But anyway, he basically said, since when we lived in caves, we were our life expectancy was 30 years. 1840, it went to 35. In 1840, it went to 35.
Yeah.
That's why people were having children at 14, 15 years old because the life expectancy was you were already middle-aged.
Yep.
Progress, longer lifespans, recognition of how
at 8
people's
years old.
development. Yeah, that was all
That's
of
why
that
the
was
lifespan
normal.
was 35.
Yeah. Well, it was that, medicine came around and was like, we can prolong your life because we know more about the human body. We know about human development as well. So we made changes because we learned more. You're telling me that you want to go back to a time when we were that uneducated? No, wait, I'm sorry.
We'll get there. We're
That's
not
my
there
bad.
yet.
I was going to say, that's my bad. We're already trying to do that anyway, but we'll come to that later. I think this is a good segue to jump into Mason's comment.
Yes.
After all we're hearing, I'm reading this out for anyone that isn't going to check chat because that's a normal thing. After all we are hearing, this may be what Russia has over him all this time. Not some pee tapes. Hell, peeing tapes would seem normal over what we're hearing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Like, it's...
Every part of it is true.
It's... To me, I look at this and I say, everything makes sense now. Like, him being in those files makes everything else make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known from the very beginning, this is his motivation for even being in office and having, like, I mean, obviously, he's a megalomaniac. That won't be denied. But he also knew that if he did not get the presidency the second term, he was going to jail.
He was going to jail. He was going to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
And
this has been his entire like self-serving piece of his presidency is insulating himself from lawsuits and criminal activity.
Yep.
Crimes that he has committed.
Yep. And to me, it's one thing I think I will never forgive the voting public of America for is putting this man in office. Like, I don't know if I'll ever forgive them for that. Because what we are doing, what we're going through right now is a completely unforced error. Like, we didn't have to do this. This didn't have to be what this was. And what we're finding out now is, I didn't even catch it. It just, I saw it today and I was like, I didn't even catch that he said something to Michael Cohen when Michael Cohen was his lawyer about his daughter, who was 15 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what about her? About if he wasn't?
No, like that he was that. I'm trying to keep us from. I mean, we're not monetized anyway, so it doesn't matter. Give to the Patreon. But if he was that he saw her, she was at a tennis lesson, and he was like, mind you, she's 15. That's a nice piece of ass. I wish I could have a piece of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You can look at the photos of the two of them together.
Elected once.
Yeah, but you can look at the photos of their interactions from back whenever, and there are numerous photos that have surfaced that give rise to that feeling. I'm a father, and you'll never see me thinking about, like, holding my child in the intimate ways that he was holding his child.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's...
You will never see a dad who isn't a problematic person himself in the situations that he was. There's a photo of him and her going to some event that she was supposed to do some modeling at or something, and he's holding her wrist as he's leading her.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about Ivanka. I'm talking about Michael Cohen's daughter.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ivanka.
No, this is Michael Cohen's daughter, and the fact that that man is still breathing on this earth, and he said it to Michael Cohen.
No, you and me would be having very stern
Damn.
words from the ground of that tennis court. You read the words for
Mason!
me.
Mason! Mason! Oh my god!
I thought you were talking about Tiffany.
No! No. Oh no, he doesn't want anything to do with Tiffany. Tiffany's too big for him.
No.
I think Trump fingered Eric, and that's why Eric looks that way.
Oh.
I was gonna say fetal alcohol poisoning, but that's just a bridge too far. Oh Lord Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
To
I
circle
did
back
not.
to
That
your,
had not appeared for me yet, and I was like, "What do you mean?" Good God. Um.
to circle back
So
to your
yeah,
comment about the about age and life expectancy and that kind of thing. You know what wasn't a norm and was not socially acceptable? Human trafficking.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then did you? I don't know if you guys saw this today. Virginia Guffrey, the baby. Listen, I hear you. I understand, but Virginia Guffrey was the one of the young women who was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, and is the person who she committed suicide this year. Um, and to this week when Donald Trump was talking about why he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, he said it wasn't because he was trafficking children, young girls. It was because he was stealing his employees, including Virginia Jeffrey. And now the family's like, now that you've said that, we want to know what you knew and when you knew it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, as long as he's president, he's immune from prosecution. As long as he's president, he
But that
doesn't have to
was
do anything.
but that was done during a period where he was not president.
Right, but he is immune. Like, they can't make
He's
him
immune now.
talk.
Yeah,
And Virginia was 15.
because
You're
of
right.
our
Virginia was
wonderful
15 at the
Supreme
time.
Court that he helped to put in place.
So none of the stuff that, like, he could put it all out there and say, hey, this is the deal. This is what it is. And no one can touch him. No one can do anything as long as he's president.
No. So, not quite. So, he can literally admit to everything. But because it was done at a period where he was not president, he is not protected under it. That's why he's scared. But the admission, completely inadmissible.
Yeah, because he's president.
That part is the true, because it was stated during that. Now, it has to be the way that the court ruled, the way that the Supreme Court ruled was that it's any acts that he does as president. So if he comes out and tries to frame it that way, it's still something they could prosecute him for and include as an admission of his involvement. However, they would have to prove that he was not stating an admission in order to remove the liability and issues of him being compromised.
Yeah. The other thing,
So there's a lot of gray loopholes there. That means they could try, but it would again go back to the Supreme Court, who could then say that any admission that is done
is not
also
we know this Supreme Court will do it because fucking Clarence Thomas has Donald Trump's balls so far in his mouth, he's burping sperm. But fuck Clarence Thomas. But here's the other thing, and then I want to kind of get off of this because it's gross and that makes me feel weird. I don't like it. At the end of this, I think what he's doing right now, which I think is absolutely terrible, is he is softening the public for his impending pardon of Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, the fact that when people ask him about it, he keeps saying, I could do it. I have the right to do it. That's him signaling that he's going to do it. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what here's what I think is going to happen. She is going to she's going to name a couple of, she's going to name some Democrats, she's going to name some celebrities, she's going to name some stuff. She's going to say Donald Trump absolutely had nothing to do with it. And then huh?
Then the pardon.
And then she'll get the pardon. I think that's what's going to happen.
Or she'll fall down a flight of stairs.
Or she'll fall down a flight of stairs. And then I think what we will find years later is that she lied for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then us as a country will have to reconcile with the fact that that is a thing that happened, and that is a thing that we allowed to happen. So that's all that I'm going to say about that. Maybe we should do some thinking about like what are we really the country that allows pedophiles and human traffickers to go free, when we are also like trying to say that brown people are all human traffickers and they all deserve to be in a concentration camp. Like, let's just call it what it is. That's what it is. The definition of what Alligator Alcatraz is a concentration camp. You can't tell me no different. I don't give a hot nut fuck what you think. That is what that is. But so let's move on to happier topics. Let's talk about the genocide in Gaza. So here's the thing. I know that us on this show, we have tried to stay out of what's happening over there for a lot of reasons. Number one, it is it's a quagmire. It's a very complicated issue. It's something that, a lot of us don't really. I can tell myself I don't have the full knowledge of it. Tig, you do.
So, I just want to lay out the generalized stance that we've taken for it, and the reason that it hasn't been something that we've talked about at any real length is because, by and large, it is complex enough and emotions are so high that it is difficult to state even a legitimate stance without somebody losing their mind over it. So we focused a great deal on our local and national politics within the country versus stating anything out about that.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason we're offering an insight of our opinions about everything is because it is something that we do need to talk about, because it is a terrible issue that has been plaguing the world for a while now. I have significantly looked into the history of that duality, of that conflict, and of that world for a while now, and have researched the history and everything leading up to it. I will speak now specifically for myself, just so I'm not speaking for anyone else. I just wanted to give the background on why we haven't talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, the atrocities that have been committed against the Palestinian people by the Israeli state are unforgivable. Israel had a moment of high ground.
Excuse me while I take
on
my
October 8th. They had a moment of high ground on October 8th. They were attacked. Citizens of their country were murdered by terrorists. And they were allowed by almost every sense of protecting yourself then Mason apparently knows things, and you and I could have a conversation, Mason. I am not going to take over the entire show to discuss the history of everything there. You ain't wrong though. What I'm going to only focus on is the form. If we look at the idea of the history of Israel, it's its own quagmire. It's its own mess. Um, Flat out, biggest thing I'll say, I do not have an issue with the Jewish people. I have an issue with the Zionist leadership of Israel and those who follow the Zionist movement. If you don't know the difference and you try to comment about that, I'm going to say this as simply as I can. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything about what is occurring, and you're falling back on the idea of anti-Semitism to shut down argument against a group of leaders who have worked for years for genocide. And we had an argument about this, not an argument, but a discussion about this, myself and JB. What's occurring in Gaza is not a genocide.
It's like we didn't argue because when you're right, you're right.
I can hear so many people being like, what are you talking about? It's not a genocide. The definition of a genocide is the erasure of a culture and a group of people. Ethnic cleansing is the erasure of a cultural or ethnic based group of people. Genocide is the general targeting and killing of a large group of people who identify as a specific cultural type. When you start to erase the culture, the land, the memory, and the overall ability for a group of people to live, it steps away from just a genocide and becomes a Holocaust. The Zionist leadership of Israel is committing a Holocaust against the Palestinian people. How does this tie back into a discussion about American politics? For those that are unaware, France, the UK with provisions, and Canada. I believe there's other countries as well, but those are the ones that have stepped out and fully said in September, October, November, December, somewhere before the end of the year, they will recognize a Palestinian state. For those that are unfamiliar with international politics, when members of the G7 step up and state that they are going to recognize your country, they have the ability to then intercede for that country. An unrecognized state, no formal country will step forward to defend them. Palestine has, since the formation of the Israeli state, been an unrecognized state. They have not recognized them as a country for the last 70 years. If they do recognize a Palestinian state, Israel will have to seek a two-state solution, because the major countries of the world will have recognized the Palestinian state. What does that mean for the United States? Well, we only recognize the Israeli state, recognize there are Palestinians who live in specific areas of the Israeli state. If other major countries are doing that, we have to at least consider what's going on there, how that's going to be affected.
Hmm.
That's why we can discuss this in those terms, stepping away specifically from my own thoughts. I want to be very specific. Those were my own thoughts, not just everybody, because I will not blanket the entire queer and present danger family with that. I'm sure they have their own feelings about it, and they may even perfectly align with mine. But I wanted to make sure that part was clear for me. But we, as queer and present danger, can address the idea of how this will affect the United States foreign policy. Because if the Palestinian state is recognized and we do not find a way to work with other countries, those other countries could be working with a group that we don't recognize or support, and that can cause friction with our own allies. Also, we have held aloft the Israeli state as a solo state because it gave us strategic power in the region, a buffer zone to bounce from to deal with anything in the Middle East. We are, in many ways, an economic colonial power. We support the Israeli state to hold on to that region. We support South Korea to hold on to that region, Japan as well, the Philippines for the South Pacific, UK, and all the rest of those, because obviously we want to hold on to Europe as the industrialized nations out there. And then pick and choose how we've interacted with South America and Africa. We have groups that we support more or less depending upon how much they're willing to give us. We're an economic colonial power and have been pretty much since World War
249
II.
years.
Before that, yeah, before that. But if we specifically state the idea that we are not a colonial power, that's not true, and it can easily be traced back to post World War II.
Yeah.
So I've gone on forever. I've tried to explain some backstory as well as some insight for myself, as well as that. But feel free, you two. I'm going to shut up for a minute. But I kept that positive. Other
Yeah.
than the Israeli government needs to be actively stopping murdering children.
Okay.
Just there's so many things about it. Just stop doing it. It's terrible. That's
Thank
my final piece.
thank you, Professor Tig, for your insight and passionate display on foreign on foreign policy. Tyler, before I jump into this, do you have anything that you would like to say or have any thoughts?
Yeah. So to that point, I want to add that this is what happens. You let a group of people ideologies and off out of a theocracy. This is what happens when you let them and let that theocracy become the future of America if we don't reinstate a separation of church and free Palestine.
Okay. I don't know if you cut off or if you were done.
Did you hear any of that?
I heard the
Yeah,
last
we
thing you
did,
said. We
but it
did,
broke
but
up a little bit.
it broke up a little bit at the end. But
Um,
then we heard you say
but
free
the idea of
Palestine.
the theocracy, yeah, the idea of the theocracy, uh, if we allow the current administration and um, okay, fantastic. By the way, loved that. But your point about it, uh, if we allow ourselves to further ourselves down into the idea of a theocratic state, state-based religion, state-based um, support for a specific religion, that we could end up going down the same route. And absolutely, uh, the founding fathers fully believed in the idea that religion could warp and taint the idea of democratic, enlightened thinking, and they were wrong.
Mm.
Yeah, because it was literally going on when they wrote
Yeah.
the Constitution. When they founded this nation, it was literally going on
Yeah.
and has been going on.
So here's the thing. You guys have both given really, really smart takes. My take ain't gonna be that smart. I'm gonna keep it real. It's not gonna be that nuanced. It's not gonna be, given with a whole bunch of facts and well, I'll have some facts, but it's not gonna be given with like a whole bunch of like sober minded. Uh, Babies are dying. Children are dying of starvation. Children are being shot. They're being used as target practice.
Yeah.
These are not things that are up for debate any longer. We have seen the images. We have seen the images despite the media not being allowed in the region. These are things that are just coming out. We are seeing it with our own eyes. And I keep hearing from one side of the aisle that anytime you say babies are dying, babies are being starved to death, babies are getting shot, they say, but Hamas. I can stand equivocally and say fuck Hamas, and also babies are dying. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. And
Exactly.
what happened on October 7th was a terrible tragedy. What happened on October 7th was a terrorist attack. But like you said earlier, what's happening now is a Holocaust. What's happening now is a genocide. What's happening now is that is the atrocity. And the fact that Mason, you said we no longer have we've lost the ability to have any moral high ground. We lost the ability to have any moral high ground long, 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 long ago. But to sit back and watch this happen and hear people talk about this and like, where is your humanity? I said the same thing about what's happening in this country with ICE agents and undocumented immigrants. Where is your humanity? Where is that piece of you that looks and says, there go by the grace of God go I. That could very easily be me. It just so happened that the genetic lottery put me in this body and not theirs. And to hear people make excuses, to hear people say things like, well, Israel is Israel is dropping food, but Hamas is taking it. Then send more food. It's just that simple. The fact that any child, anybody is dying, is losing their lives, are starving to death in a world where we have so much fucking abundance is unforgivable.
And I was under the understanding that Israel was not letting the aid into the Gaza.
They're letting
Had
the aid
nothing to do with
into
Hamas.
they're letting the aid into the southern Gaza Strip. What they're trying to do is push everyone into southern Gaza so they can push them completely out of the region. That is the goal. Now,
I just laughed at the idea of them being like, but Hamas is taking it, but we aren't going to support it until we get the last 20 people out, and we're not going to stop until we get the bodies of the people who've died in captivity. You could just two things. Number one, if you know that Hamas is taking the food, put a tracker in it, and you have Hamas.
yep.
You guys were able to blow up thousands of pagers, and you can't find out where the food is going. that's a lie. Let's be blunt. You're lying. You've been lying for this entire thing, but you're lying. And the idea that you are, um, uh, the idea that you are, oh God, it fell right out of my head. It was something Tyler just said. It was Tyler's last comment, and it fell
Free
right out of my
Palestine
head.
was the last thing he said. I remember him saying.
No, just now, like
Oh,
20 seconds ago.
Oh, that Israel was not letting the food aid into the Gaza Strip.
Oh yeah. So they aren't allowing it except through very specific areas, and then are using those areas as target practice, and
Mhm.
it's been seen on a regular basis. They're claiming
Yep.
that it's because people are getting way aggressive there. Their aggression is coming from the idea that they're seeing food and water for the first time in 3 months.
they're fucking
The
hungry.
it's panic.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're talking
Maslow's
about.
law.
Yep, they're hungry. They're not eating. I was looking. I was watching something today, and that was like they were talking about reports of because the food is so scarce and flour and things. They're baking bread with hay,
Mhm.
and what the hay does to their bodies is
Yeah.
literally making them defecate blood.
Yeah.
But Mason, like you said, we're tearing up crops because of tariffs while people starve elsewhere. And I'm gonna end this part here because I don't want this to
You
be
will easily fall down
down
all here.
dark. But feed the babies, like feed them, like what do
Yep.
feed them. Stop the killing.
And I don't want to hear another person say war is hell.
Yeah. That's not an excuse.
Not an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
But
It wasn't an excuse for Mao Zedong. It wasn't an excuse for Mussolini. It wasn't an excuse for any dictator.
Yeah.
yep. And we don't even know what the death toll is in those areas. We don't, and we probably will never know.
Nope.
But on a lighter note, Professor Tig, I heard that you had a special education for us on tariffs. And and Mason mentioned the tariffs, so why don't you go ahead
So much lighter.
and educate us on tariffs and what's happening right now?
Professor Tig, explain.
So there is. So we'll start simply for everyone. Welcome to the class. I'm going to try to provide some economic education for those of you that have no clue what you're talking about, which unfortunately is about 50%, maybe 60% of the country. Um, the country that produces the goods does not pay the extra fees on tariffs. The companies inside the United States that are purchasing these things from outside the United States will not. They do have to pay for the tariffs for importing those goods. They will not absorb that cost. Those companies will pass that and have been passing that burden on to the consumer. How do they do that? Well, company company that produces the goods is company A. Company B is the ones that are importing those goods to the United States, and consumer is C. Company A isn't going to change how much they're charging people because they have, in a lot of ways, probably already set up payment plans, delivery schedules, etc. Business is much more complicated than you're paying an extra 15% now. No, I'm not. That's being that you're charging that to people who are importing into the country, not me who's producing this in my country. I'm still going to keep my costs what they are. Company B that's importing it has to pay an extra 15 to 25% on anything they're importing into the country. Started out as Okay, well, let's buy 300% of what we would normally purchase. So there was a large surplus. People in the country who had any idea what was happening panic bought and bought a whole bunch of stuff because they wanted to get in before the tariffs. That caused a big bump to the economy and showed actual growth in the second quarter of this year. Companies B paid an extra 25%. So something that was $1 was now $1.25. If they were charging you $5 for it, well, they still want to make their 400% return. So they're going to charge you $6 to make up for the fact they're $6.50 for whatever it was that you were paying $5. Because why should they take a hit on that? Companies will not absorb that payment and not transfer it onto the consumer. If they're a smart company and they want to try to keep the consumer happy, they'll take a little bit of a hit. They'll take the $6 instead of $6.50. Most companies don't care. They know you need the product. They're going to keep making you pay that higher price. That's just what it is. So you, as the consumer, we, as the consumers, have to pay more on anything that's being imported from another country that is being faced with one of these tariffs, either an actual tariff or, as of about 2 hours from now, all the tariffs that are supposed to be hitting. He did just release some new thing that's going to change some of those things today.
It still doesn't
in
make
order
any damn
to
sense.
Hold on. Professor Tig is explaining. Listen to the rest of the class. I'll accept questions after. Basically, what ended up happening was he announced that he was going to be doing all of these tariffs and they were going to start on May 30th or something, whatever the original date was, because he was starting to get people to at least respond to his trade discussions. He put that pause on them to try to push them back. Then he got into his big wars with Canada and Mexico and China to try to impose his will upon them. We owe too much freaking money to China for him to ever win that fight. Just blunt, straightforward. We owe them too much money. Canada, Mexico kind of was like, yeah, we guess we can do a little bit better trade deal for you. You can get a little bit more money out of us. Canada was like, no, good luck, mate. We ain't doing it. enjoy your whiskey that is made from somewhere else. Now, with all that being said, that's the general thing about tariffs. I have not read the new thing that he released today, so I cannot comment on that. I'm just giving the overview of tariffs. Now, here's the part that is probably going to make at least a few people look at me funny. They're working. Short-term economic gains from it are technically working. If you're curious why I'm saying that, it's because the economy originally took a nosedive when he announced his tariffs. Stock markets tanked. People were desperately worried about a recession. We're still on our way to one. Don't get fooled about that. But by and large, he announced them. People panicked. The economy dropped. People bought, started buying. He saw that people were starting to buy, and he pulled back on the tariffs. Stock prices soared. Stock prices went up and have gone up since the announcement of the tariffs even started. Consumers were terrified in the first quarter of everything that was going on. They have since regained some level of confidence and have gone back to buying. So what he has is stumbled half-assedly, because I will not give him the credit that he knows what he's doing. It's more of he's lucked out by the idiocy of the American populace and not understanding how any of this works. And as a result, the economy has actually done okay. It has not been kicked in the teeth like everyone thought it was going to be. because he repealed his decision. And that caused people to be like, oh, okay, so it's not going to be bad. And that has caused this seesaw action, but that seesaw has gone up. So, in a way, I can give him the credit for stumbling like a drunk through an open door. He managed not to hit a wall. And that's short term. Short term, things don't look as dire as they did when he made his first announcement. However, by almost every economist that is reputable and is not secretly trying to get pulled in as an economic advisor for the government, long term, this will not work. Tariffs don't work. They actually cause more problems than they will help. There's a much greater chance of us falling into what is called stagflation, where basically the economy stagnates. We don't actually have any quality GDP growth, and but at the same time, things become more expensive. Stagflation can result in a recession or even a full-blown depression. We have historical examples of this back whenever they tried to rescue us out of the post-World War One, beginning to see the foundations of the economy slowing. They decided to throw tariffs on, I forget which president it was, um, to try to get more manufacturing done here in the United States. And it is regarded as, by most economists, as not only helping start the fall into the Great Depression, but actually caused it to be prolonged. The effects of and after 1929 were actually prolonged by the idea that we were trying to get people back to work here with tariffs, and all it really did was cause issues with the economy that prolonged because it damaged other countries. So overall, we could lose GDP growth. I wrote down a couple of things. We could lose our GDP growth. It will hilariously generate revenue that could theoretically be used to reduce federal debt. It won't be, first off, because he'll never do that. He'll just find different ways to spend it, probably for his private ICE army. There's a lot of various things that it could result in negatively for the American people. Most importantly, the cost of living, the cost of your everyday thing, from groceries to energy to numerous other issues, long term could and will be affected negatively for this, even if the stock market and consumer confidence can rebound over the short term, while he tries to do this weird flex of pulling tariffs, then dropping bigger ones, and then pulling back a little bit, and even finding trade deals that are marginally better in terms of what the US gets out of it, but not actively producing any quality results for the American people. That the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Thank you, Mason, for that. It actually, if you want, Mason, I highly recommend learning about the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. For anyone else that's interested in it, it was it was the best example historically of how tariffs do not benefit the economy, especially long term. It might kickstart things for 6 months to a year, because there would be slightly increased revenue growth, but overall, long term, it is seen as a negative. In fact, it is one of the things that Congress as a whole came together and said this was a bad decision. Passing the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was a bad decision. So that's your history lesson for the day, because I could go on for longer, but that's probably the shortest, easiest way to explain that. Tariffs bad, Trump dumb, stumbling through an open door because American people, generally, dumb.
My daddy's so
Uh,
smart.
Long
Yeah.
term, it's not beneficial to us.
So I'm not going to give him that much credit. I
So I'm
think
not giving
that
him credit for knowing what he's doing. I'm just saying he's a drunk stumbling
no.
through a
I don't.
door.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and that is that he is
Oh, negative.
making sure that his billionaire buddies have a leg
Oh,
up
absolutely.
to make more
Yeah,
money, because
absolutely. They're
all of
they're
this
making
benefits the
record
rich.
profits.
So,
So it was completely orchestrated to consolidate
Yeah.
wealth once again.
Yeah,
so
no, that you are correct in that. I can toss that in as a final piece, is that the only people who are seeing the benefit of this are the billionaire CEOs of companies that are seeing increased profit through consumer desperation.
And the financial the ones in the financial industry that are seeing record numbers of loans and things that they can then loan out, or you know bet on who's actually going to pay their debts.
yep. And here's my thing about it all. Like at the end of the day, food prices are already starting to go up. And who this will, it is a regressive tax. Who it is going to affect most often are people who are lower middle income people, and the poor, most of which are going to fit into black and brown, demographics. As someone who sits at the intersection of queer and black, the biggest thing for me is I do not understand, and I've said this on the show before, but I do not understand how they have convinced poor white folks to vote against their own best interests, other than the idea of selling them the dream that one day they will be millionaires too. Let me tell you, that's not going to happen. The odds of you moving out of your tax bracket is very low. It's easy to go down. It's very hard to go up. I don't understand that part of it. I think I am taking a wait and see approach. I'm already mad because I still don't have my Switch 2, but that's a different story. That's a different thing for a different day at a different time. But I want to. We're 10:15. I'm looking at the clock because I want to make sure that we have time to talk about at least the last thing that I want to talk about today, and that is the uneducation of our. I'm gonna move past the tariffs because you did a great job explaining it and all that. Thank you very much, Professor Tig. No, I want to, before we get into the fun story of the week, I want to talk about the uneducating of our of the general public, and the the cutting funding to public broadcasting. I think that this is like, why do you have a beef with Ernie? Like, why you got a beef with Bert and Ernie? Why are you beefing? You know what I'm saying, with Elmo? What did Elmo do to you? Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like,
Mr. Rogers looked at him and said, "You ain't my neighbor."
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why. Like, what the fuck was the name of that damn? What did Franklin do? Like, what did Franklin do?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why Arthur is why you beefing with Arthur? I don't understand. Like, here's the deal. Like, these are things. Public television is how people in rural communities get news. It's how rural children in low income in rural communities get primary early education in areas where Head Start does not exist or is not funded. Having these programs that are geared towards them for education, just your reading, writing, arithmetic, and fucking empathy. And it's because the fact that we live in a world where NPR is considered the liberal media. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, Mason, you're right. It's, people, not just news, nature shows, science shows, British, listen, I grew up on Are You Being Served? You know what I mean? Like, that's why British humor and I love British humor. The things that that PBS and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting gave our lives is something that we will. Barney, why are you mad at Barney? You know what I mean? Like what like teaching. These are teaching. Not only was it teaching, knowledge. It was teaching soft skills. It was teaching how to be an empathetic and good person. And because we have a person in office who is not a good person, who is objectively a bad person, because they told the truth. That's the problem. The problem isn't because they're liberal or left. Reality has a left-leaning bias.
Yeah.
Like
the reason why it's been such an attack on PBS and NPR isn't because they lean so far left. It's because they don't mince words. They don't try to play a game. They're literally just saying, this happened and this happened. Thank you for listening to PBS. They're not like, are there shows that have people who commentate? Sure. Fox News is a great example of the other end of that. Can we get rid of Fox News if you want to get rid of NPR? Just saying. It absolutely feels like it is working to create a gap in education and understanding of the world around you, because it is easier to play a clap track of cheering people over an empty audience at a parade than it is to just show what actually happened at that parade, which was a smattering of claps in the distance because people were so few and far in between.
And that squeaky ass tank wheel. Let me tell you something. Can we just for 1 second? That will always and forever be the image for me. That squeaky ass tank wheel going down the road with like 5 people around it. It was the saddest thing I'd ever seen in my whole life. Like, I know we're talking about something else, but can we just let that be what it is? Like, that is our moment of zen. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's kind of like crickets playing.
Yeah. And they played it side by side, and people were able to see that there was an inserted laugh track from the White House. It was identified that the White House was feeding Fox News and other people a sound bite to put over their sound rather than the actual parade itself.
Well, and here's another thing that I think
people yawning on stage was not focused on by anybody, because why do that?
The fact that Marco Rubio still has a job after that is beyond me. Like, real talk. But here's another thing. Like, you mentioned Fox News and Mehdi Hassan earlier on. Ooh, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. We'll get to that at the end. We'll tackle it at the end. Mehdi Hassan on the Jon Stewart podcast today said that Fox News is the propaganda tool of the Republican Party, and you don't see commentators and political pundits on any other network show up to rallies and introduce candidates except for on Fox News.
Yeah.
That is to me, if you are supposed to be giving news, now listen, I watched my Rachel. I love me some Rachel. It is what it is. I've been getting into Jen Psaki. She's, it is what it is. I know that I live in a left-leaning bubble. I'm a queer black person. Like, come on now. Like, it is what it is. I love me some Chris Hayes. He's Muppet looking ass. I love me a Muppet, my favorite Muppet in the world. But I also understand and recognize that I am living in that is a left-leaning bubble that I am in, that I am getting my news from. The problem with Fox News viewers is that they don't think that they are in a bubble. They don't think that what they are watching is right-wing propaganda. And thank you, Mason, for talking about why are you mad at Thomas the Tank Engine? He's just trying to go down the road. Shit. But they don't realize, I had to get that out. They don't realize that they are in this bubble and they're in this quagmire. And what's happening, and you see it happen, you're seeing it happen at CBS, you're seeing it happen at ABC. These are people, we are getting the government and specifically this administration is getting its tendrils into media companies and is going to start dictating the things that they're saying, the way that they're covering stories, the things that we are allowed to see. And we as Americans need to stand up for the impartiality and balance of our news. We're already seeing it at the local level where local stations have a right-leaning balance because they are owned by these large conglomerates that are actually dictating what stories they can cover and how they can cover it.
Yep.
And
that's some Nazi shit.
Yeah. And it is... We have to be careful with that. We have to rise up and say, no, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that, because what's happening is because those people are living in a right-wing echo chamber and a right-wing bubble they have been convinced that everyone else is lying to them. No one else is telling them the truth. They can only get their news from Fox or from OAN. Everyone else is the liberal media. And that's how we got Trump. It's how we got him.
Yeah.
Also racism and sexism and, colorism and racism. Yeah, like all of those things as well. But how was that able to be fueled? How was that able to be propagated? Through fucking the media. Before we get to Ryan Walters, I want to do one more thing. Tyler, I don't know if you got a chance to... Are you home yet? Are you still in your undisclosed location?
I'm here.
Oh, you don't want to turn your camera back on? Or is you butt naked?
Not naked? No, I'm here.
Okay.
I can turn my camera on. I just
we'll
didn't
eventually we'll eventually have a After Dark Patreon only part, and we'll just focus the entire thing on Tyler being comfortable being in his skivvies.
Listen, it's a great look. It's a great look. It's a great look. But but anyway,
more money for that.
Yeah. See, Mason said he giggled when he said he's most definitely naked. See, we know Tyler.
I have a shirt on.
I have a shirt on. Don't put it lower. We really don't want to get fully canceled.
Okay.
Oh, this pants.
What's that red thing on your crotch?
I was gonna say that red thing.
You got a red rocket on your crotch.
And to hide something.
That's my AirPods.
Yeah, it is.
I got a new AirPod case.
That's what you calling that now? Your
It's
AirPod?
Yeah, I'm loving it too because it's got it has magnets built into the
Oh,
case
nice.
so that it actually works with an induction with the
The
max
MagSafe.
mag yeah.
So,
Mhm.
before we get
Yeah.
into it,
Go
Tyler, I'm
ahead,
not
Tyler.
sure if you had a chance to watch it, but I know I watched it when it came out. Now, I don't personally watch Jubilee. Like every
Mm.
once in a while, I'll catch clips. But when I saw Mehdi Hassan against 20 far right Republicans, I said this is going to be a bloodbath,
Mhm.
and I was not wrong. Um, but what I was not expecting
So many
was,
comments. Oh wait,
huh?
I have so many comments. Keep going.
No,
That whole
no,
thing.
no. Tyler is not naked off camera. Oh, but is the other guy naked off camera? uh, wait, who you got at your house? Hi,
Loki
hi, Loki. Who you got at your house?
and Sylvie.
Who you got at your house?
I don't have anyone at my house.
Okay,
JB, let it go. Meta Hassan,
That's
okay.
Jubilee.
Mehdi Hassan, on Jubilee. Listen, them cats is bad, but you know what I was not expecting. What I didn't expect was um far right meant fascist. Um, far right meant Nazi. Far right meant get out of our country. I've seen, like I said, I've seen clips of other Jubilee episodes, and I'd seen that like usually there's like one or two crazies in it, one or two people who are like, oh, you're a little off. Um, this seemed really gross to me. Um, like what the thing that was the most striking, there was a guy the guy in the baseball cap,
Mhm.
who, basically was like, basically told him like, you're gonna be the first to go. You know, like you're talking to a well-respected journalist, a well-respected like who just happens to be Indian of British descent, and because he disagrees with you, you know, he's got to be you're going to be the first to go. That's an American citizen. The woman who said that no immigrant can be an American citizen except for her parents because her parents are immigrants. Um,
Like all our fucking parents are immigrants.
Yeah.
um,
The part that was insane was the fact that both of her parents were immigrants. Not like we're all immigrants to this country, which is a factual statement. And Professor Tig will pull back from that because I could go down a rabbit hole. But the fact
Oh,
that
you mean like
she stated,
first generation?
like,
yeah,
first generation, she is a first generation born in America. She was white too, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So she fits the bill as somebody whose parents should leave
yeah.
and totally believes that other immigrants should.
She technically is
I
an anchor
deal with
baby.
this. I deal with this on a regular basis with personal connections to somebody who says that, yeah, get all those immigrants out of here. You're a naturalized citizen. You are a naturalized citizen. You know who I'm talking about,
I
JP.
do. Wild to me.
Like,
Wild.
and blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind that people have that kind of a thought process when you fit the actual bill. If ICE popped up out of nowhere anywhere that you were, you're getting grabbed.
Yeah.
You do not have a blonde hair, blue eyed body that is gonna fit their bill to be like, all right, have a good day. It is you are a Latina woman born in Mexico
naturalized here
Don't say that
and
too loud.
then
You don't want to
had
get yelled at.
children here. I don't give a goddamn. The point being, like, even 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 they understand what the hell I'm talking about. They also have called out about it. I'm not going to give out more because obviously, if this is being watched by anybody who would act against that, go away. Just go away. I'm not going to give you more information than that. You probably have an entire dossier on everyone in the United States anyway. But the point is, I'm not going to hand you that on a silver platter.
Right. I think the thing about it for me, and then that first guy who was talking and fucking why blew my mind, where he literally said, "I have to talk, I have to make sure that I stay calm during this interaction." Like, you're letting us know from the jump that you're unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
From the jump, you're letting us know that you don't know how to handle your emotions. So like,
Yeah.
why are you here? Like, why would you put yourself in a situation where you have to worry about keeping your emotions in check? Like, it's fucking insane to me personally. But no, Tig, give your thoughts, because I could go on and on about how Mehdi Hassan like literally did the thing that needed to be done.
First and foremost, any of those idiots who thought that they could take on an Oxford educated actual debater, like he was a debate person at Oxford, and
He
you
wrote a
thought you were
book.
going to win an argument with him, he literally wrote a book on debate. You none of you were going to win, and none of you did win. If anybody watches the whole thing, none of them had a point that made any sense, and every time that he tried to get them back on track from whatever random lunatic thing that they went off on, it just showed how unhinged and uneducated all of them were. And there were so many of them that it made me feel uncomfortable that these were American citizens, mostly, who uh, who were there. And I say mostly because it made me sad to see that that was a representation of anyone in the United States right now. It also made me sad because somehow Jubilee had managed to pull an actual uh, dreamer
Yep.
into the show who was there and didn't understand what he was even fighting against. Like, he sounded like he had been given a whole bunch of BS, and that's what he tried to say. But then you could see that. Wow, you said Hassan so much. My mind
Mehdi
has gone
Hassan.
off on Hassan. Yeah. Uh, you could see the concern that Mehdi Hassan had for this individual, because he was like, are you going to be okay when this is done? Because you just admitted something that every one of these people here is probably contacting anyone they can to get ICE to grab you.
Yep.
Like,
And you're on their side.
are you okay? Yeah, are you okay? Do you know why you're here? Like, he legitimately looked worried about it. But that entire Jubilee episode was just a nightmare fueled thing, representing a cross section of America that I really wish did not exist.
And I
And
think
I've watched other Jubilee episodes, and there has been an occasional person where you go, I don't know if you're
you're a
actually
steaming dumbass.
okay. I don't know if you're okay. You've got some thoughts that Jim Jones would want to chat with you about, but you you're the outlier. This one was just pure and unadulterated lunacy.
Yeah.
And when the one guy flat out said that he basically followed and supported a Nazi theorist, and
We'll get to him. I got things for
7
him.
people started clapping for that, and you could see Hassan just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people clapping for that.
That's the guy who admitted he was a fascist and then turned around on another podcast and talked about how he was subsequently fired from his job.
Yep.
But it turns out He was not fired from his job after that. What happened was he was laid off in January.
And he tried to claim it was because he was just being a white power advocate and
Yep.
they were mistreating him.
Yep.
That sounds right. That sounds right for that
Yeah.
group.
That tracks.
Also,
because it's all about the
Mason.
grift.
Mason,
Oh, listen.
I love you. And so right. For those that are curious, Mason said birthright citizenship was created to keep the Indians from reminding white people we didn't naturalize here either. I fucking love you.
Listen,
I love you.
Mason
We
is
will.
the GOAT.
We may very well one day have an entire episode devoted to that entire atrocity, but
We may one day have Mason on the show.
like, but man, what a way to put that. Also, far right meant Brooks Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, Mason is the GOAT. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Like, he's the GOAT. But I think...
Blow up and have thousands of people watching us, and we're always going to set aside some time for Mason.
It's Mason's Corner. It's time for Mason's Corner. Like... No, but I think... I think one of the big things that it showed me is, you know, and we keep saying, or we have been saying that, and Mehdi Hassan said this, we've been saying that these are, you know, Trump supporters or white supremacists, or these are all old people who, you know, these were young people from LA. These were...
Wait, what?
Yes.
Yeah, every one of these people were an influencer that was able to come to the Jubilee thing who live in LA.
Who live in LA.
All far-right extremists.
Are they from LA?
They all live in
Oh,
LA.
God.
No, but they all live
They
there.
live there now. Because they're all trying
Okay.
to grab some grift.
But either way, you know, we keep like that's thing. Oh well, you know, eventually these people will die off, and you know, like they're not representative of the country. They are. They are very much representative of the country that we live in.
There was actually a report that came out that said that young white men have never resonated more with the Republican Party than this generation.
Yep.
Specifically, young white men. But it's the reason why you have photos of LGBT women, etc., after the 2020 election, bawling their eyes out, and right next to it is a group of like 10 to 20 young white men, all looking with this look of like hope and dreaminess in their eyes, wearing MAGA hats.
2024, you mean?
No, there was some of it in 2020.
Like,
It was already starting then. They already saw the hope and the dream for their future resting on Donald Trump's shoulders. His ancient, droopy, saggy-titted, flat, diaper-filled ass shoulders.
You mean 2016?
2016. So thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, 2016.
I was like 2020.
2020
was
was
crying.
Yeah. No, so
Yeah, they were losing their mind, but yeah.
We have 20 minutes to get through this. I think we'll take 10 on this topic and 10 on the other one, because you just said something that made me think when you said bloated, saggy, tittied ass. South Park.
Yes. Chef's kiss to that episode.
That was an amazing episode.
That was a fantastic... Not only was it a
everything-
fantastic episode,
everything you wanted.
it was the appropriate level of fuck you, not only to this administration, but also to Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
110%.
Right after getting a $1.5 billion check.
Yep.
I have never been, I will tell you, I have never been a South Park fan. Like, it's never been one of those things that like resonated with me. Just just because it's just not my kind of humor most of the time.
Yeah.
But that did it for me.
Mhm.
Just the pure, blatant fuck you of it all did it for me. And
Oh yeah.
It was so good.
it was so good. Like it was in this time period where nothing feels like things are going great. It feels like it's too bad out here for all of us. That was a moment of they get it.
Mhm. It was a master stroke
He
of
gets me.
thanks for the money, we
He
get to do
gets
what we want to
us.
do now. And was the call out that people like Stephen Colbert and uh, Stewart and so many others have been like, why are you all bending the knee? Why
Yep.
are you all giving money to this sycophant in these settlements? And why are you all just apologizing for just being what you've been able to be for the last 50 to 100 years? Why are you apologizing to this person? And they were just like, yeah, we're sorry. We're sorry that we did it. Ha ha. Ha. Like
It was
their
unapologetic.
apologies were just so laced with like, we don't really give a shit. We're sorry it wasn't longer.
Yeah.
And by that we meant your penis. Like,
Like it was to
not
me
as
like
sorry as your ex-wives have been. Like, it was
Not as sorry as Stormy Daniels.
yeah. Like every piece of it was just amazing.
right because I don't
Oh,
give.
I have a
Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say I have another piece to this thing that just drives me insane and shows how absolutely fucked we are as a country that the US government put a Venmo out.
I don't even want to talk about. Oh my God, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Did you know that, Tyler? The
What?
US government, a Venmo number, a Venmo QR code stating if you'd like to help with the national debt, please donate here.
Now, mind you, there's always been a way to help with the national debt. That's always been a thing. But to have a Venmo, like a fucking influencer,
Yeah. For those that are curious, because Professor Tig needs to provide context, um, bonds, when you buy a bond, that is helping the national debt. That has existed at the very least since World War One to help pay down things. The whole idea of bond drives during those wars was to help pay for everything that the government was having to spend on things. The bonds have existed since then because you basically provide money to the US government, they use that money, and then you get back a piddling amount of interest for it, but it basically also secures to have a Patreon. But Mason,
no, but we do. We do.
So, you know what also helps cut down the debt? Not giving tax breaks to billionaires.
Preach it. Preach it. Preach it.
Amen.
Preach it.
like
Making
the
the
big
rich
beautiful bill is
pay
a travesty.
taxes.
Yeah.
I just want you to know I am never calling it that. I will never,
Yeah.
never call
I
it
did
that.
it solely for the purpose of referencing the document as stated, but it is the biggest pile of garbage that they have dumped out of the Capitol building in forever for the economy. Absolutely.
If I join the U.S. government Patreon, do I
I'll
get full
fucking
unfettered?
pay it.
I
I'll
would.
fucking pay it.
I would.
Mason, I'll you tell me it's $500 and I can have full access to it. I'll pay it. Give me all of that
wait
stuff.
a minute. No, hold on, because you could buy me a Switch too.
I could also get the Epstein files.
Which one is going to make me happier?
The Epstein files. because that would absolutely gut the American political system, and you know we need that.
But it won't let me
It's
play.
true.
It won't let me play Metroid Prime 4.
But the tariffs would drop off because no sane politician will maintain those, and every one of the grifter douches that are in political office who probably were on the fucking island would also be gone, and we could finally pass lobbying and tax breaks that actually function for the American people.
Thank you, Mason. I love
Yeah,
you.
there you go. Mason's like, I'll do it. It's like, thanks, Mason, for the cover. Now I don't have to worry about it. I'll still buy the Epstein files.
What about the Epstein files and me and Switch too? Anyway,
You got a damn chair.
shh.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. By the way, my birthday is on Monday. I'll take a Switch too. Tyler's birthday is on what? Friday or Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday. I knew it was very close. So listen, we're 6 days apart and
Next
some years.
Sunday.
Some years.
Is it next Sunday? Can't be next Sunday.
I think
it is
it's next Sunday. Because yours is 6 days, 6 days after mine. The last thing I want to get into, and this is something. This is a story that'll be close to Tyler's heart.
Okay.
Out there in the land of Oklahoma, there is a politician who is doing everything but his motherfucking job.
That part.
Ryan Walters. Matter of fact, Ryan, why don't you come on down to the front of the congregation? Let's just go ahead and get this all out in the open. That's okay. We can make it work. We can make it work. It's fine. It's fine. Listen. Leos and Capricorns can work together. It's fine. We can make it work. Let's switch to. I'll do whatever. I'll be on. Never shut up. We are on air. I can't say dirty, nasty, unspeakable.
We are talking about Ryan Walters.
Okay, so listen. He's Mason said he'll buy me a Switch too. I mean, I'll do some strange for a little change. I ain't gonna lie.
I love that your mic cut out for half a second for me, right as you said. I'll let be. It didn't.
Like pretty much the entire episode, Mike's been cutting out for me. So
Has it
I
really?
don't know if it's, yeah,
It's for like a word or two.
yeah. It sounds like it sounds like you're being censored.
I can hear myself.
Yeah.
In the mic.
Like
It's
everything.
really irritating,
It's
actually.
the best part about it because the moments where it is cut out has been like a censored type moment, and I've been like, this is appropriate.
Y'all know I be talking shit. It is what it is. But anyway, back to Ryan Walters, who, like I said, is doing everything but his job. Was recently
Toe-tapping douchebag.
Was recently embroiled in scandal. A scandalo.
The scandal.
El scandalo. When pornographic content was shown on a TV during a board meeting in his office.
Surprisingly female.
Listen, that's why I say I don't believe it, because I don't believe that Ryan Walters is watching two ladies do anything. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying, huh?
At least from what was revealed, the person was female.
Right.
We don't know what they were assigned at birth.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I thought about that too.
But at any rate, he has gone on and said that these are slanderous lies, and he's fully on his Donald Trump. You didn't see what you thought you saw. The droids are not here, or not on Coruscant, or whatever the fuck those things are. I'm sorry, Star Wars people don't come get me, but you know what I mean. These aren't the droids you're looking for. That's the word. There it was. I found it there. It took me a second, but I got it. But I find it to be really interesting, and I think the thing about it that is interesting to me is hold on, I can give you the Patreon. That ain't never been a problem.
KCAPC.
KC, I think it's under KCAPC, but let me double check because let's see. Continue. I think it's
And double check your sound settings.
Why is it doing the thing again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still under KC caffeine. Here, I will put it in the thing. Let's see. Share creator. Anyway, go ahead. So y'all talk about it while I'm doing this. See how y'all got me all kerfluffled?
All right. So, I'll take over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Walters, at a board meeting, there was some pornographic material that we don't know exactly what it was. That's not come out, but the people that were in the meeting, including himself, I mean, he was not like he was there in the meeting, but he denied he denied seeing what was being displayed. And that was inappropriate or obscene that was being displayed. So it's like, okay. So, county sheriff, they are investigating this situation to find out where this content came from, whose device it came from, etc. And Governor Stitt went on. Oh, I hate saying that. Governor Stitt went on record saying that he supports the board members. To which Ryan comes back and says that basically this is all a big hoax, and accused Governor Stitt of basically orchestrating this whole thing to as a smear campaign against him, and he and Walters is urging the board members to resign, quote, in disgrace, because their actions are disgraceful, according to him. In the speech, he also mentioned that this is just a lowbrow attack because he's trying to make Oklahoma's education system the best in the nation. Well, what's really funny is that education, first of all, we were 48th. 48th. 7 other fucking states have better education than we do. Guess where we are now? Under
50th?
his administration. We are dead fucking last. Dead last. We are 50 of 50. He ain't teaching shit. So, I love what someone actually commented on Channel 2 out of Oklahoma City. They put kind of like this little pictogram together on their Facebook page. And the top comment was, not Governor Stitt and Walters having a Dollar Tree version of the Elon Trump breakup.
Like, so, and here's the thing I think that is crazy to me. Because the last thing that I saw was that the sheriff's department did finish their investigation, and they said that it was inconclusive of whether or not those came from, which is to me inconclusive means they found it, but they ain't gonna tell nobody they found it because they're trying to protect him, right? So he is going around saying that he has been exonerated.
He got censored for it. He got censored for it.
Did he?
No, you got Mike cut
No,
out.
you did.
Oh Jesus.
Your mic cut out like right at those pause.
Well, they said that he was, that it said it was inconclusive, and so now he's going around telling people that he has been exonerated. Did it do it again?
For a brief moment, yeah. But yes, he has been exonerated. That's what they're trying to say. But inconclusive just means we found something, but we're not totally sure we want to admit that we found it. What we found. Homer Simpson fade back into bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the is
You went quiet for a moment there.
See, it's not just me.
I did. Okay, so it's fucking Discord then. It's got to be Discord.
Yeah.
It was like, because I hear myself just fine. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
It's kind of crazy. Neither of them are neither of the.
Did it again. It did it again. You're quiet again. There it is. Yeah. Just like that. That's what it looked like.
Like, they're really just a bunch
of... Well played. Well played.
I'm trying to change the things around on the Patreon now because I can't. It's one of those things I said I was going to do. Listen, I'm not doing this with y'all today.
But they're certainly not billionaires.
No.
No, not at all.
And that's why this is the Dollar Tree version.
Yep.
And this is the Dollar Tree version of a real podcast, guys. Clearly, Tyler's speech is classified. I'm trying to find a photo of all three of us that's appropriate for Patreon.
Oh,
Good luck.
Fantastic. A photo of the three of us that's appropriate. Do we take photos like that?
Appropriate?
Not usually.
Not usually. We have like one.
Like photos, period.
We have one photo that I'm looking for that I know
we need to do a photo shoot. We need to do a photo shoot for promotions.
We do need to do
We
that.
do, but we also just need to do better at taking photos with each other. None of us are really good at getting photos of any event that any of us go to. I've seen this happen.
I know.
And we go to events all
Unless
the time.
takes asleep.
We go to stuff.
I do take.
Yeah. We all take photos of asleep, of people being asleep. That's our go-to. It's like, oh, look at it passed out. Clickety click.
Wait, do y'all don't have any photos of me asleep?
Right
Do you?
Yes, multiple.
Why have I never seen them?
Because they're currently being they're with the Epstein files. It's fine.
Well, guys, this was a great episode. Don't forget to like the video.
No, I definitely want the Switch 2 over.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's like, oh, I don't want those out.
Listen, if you put those out, I'm definitely getting the Switch too.
Oh. But parting words regarding the Epstein files. As far as are actively trying to protect people and insulate people from being exposed from the Epstein files, then you are a pedophile.
Yep.
Yes, 100%. Anyone and everyone who is holding up the release of these documents is complicit in pedophilia.
Say it again for the people in the bed.
Mike Johnson, if you hold up the Epstein files, you are complicit in pedophilia. I'll fucking call you out.
I mean, Mike Johnson and his are the Epstein files at Cappuccino? Yes. Those are the names. I don't know if you guys have seen because they don't pay attention to the Patreon. That's just a one I've had for a long time. They're all coffees.
Okay.
Because that was when I was KC Caffeine.
Pizza. Oh.
Why don't I could just use this?
Remember the pizza?
We absolutely should.
The cheese pizza and the pepperoni pizza?
I'm
Yep.
not doing this. I'm not doing this Pizzagate bullshit with you today. I don't have to, and you can't make me. Anyway,
We also should try to figure out how to change your
What if we did Hawaiian pizza?
your coffees.
Pineapple Canadian bacon.
There you go. But hey, you should do it as like various levels of raccoon terror.
oh, that's what. Yeah,
For the
we're
three
gonna
of
at some point. I'm gonna change them all around so that they have names about raccoons
Yep.
because we're the well-oiled machine.
Mhm. For those that are unaware, that's been our long-running joke with each other of how well we manage to make things work whenever we're all together.
It's that great.
And then we have a rough design of having raccoons trying to break into a trash can and it going terribly wrong as this like catch that we've talked about doing.
Yeah.
So that's where the raccoons come in.
Once we get an outline of that, I think I'm gonna have someone try to draw it for us.
You cut out hilariously right as you said, I'm gonna, and then cut out.
Oh. How about now? Am I still cut out?
No.
This is a good ASMR mic.
It's a good ass.
It's really a good one.
Oh yeah.
Also, you're gonna what? No, let's
You
not
should
do
get
that.
some pickles.
What are you gonna do with it whenever we get to this?
I'm gonna get somebody to draw it, and I'm gonna draw the way that we talked about it the last time, with one of the raccoons directing. One raccoon trying to hold the other
updated
one
the
up,
design.
and the other one being like just like staring off into space, looking because it's the three of us.
That's totally me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the one trying to direct things and just getting exasperated with like, no, get the fucking like.
I'm the one trying to
and then
hold-
He's gonna be like panicking and trying to get things, and you're just gonna be
Staring off in the opposite direction of where you're supposed to be looking. Yeah, that's
as
gonna be
the
it.
trash can is falling on us.
Yeah. Anyway, see, this is what happens when we try to do things. Like, I'm trying to close the show out, and here we did go into a tangent.
Not a chance.
But you know
It's not with us.
But you know who's been surprisingly silent about the Epstein files?
That's kind of cool, Mason.
Oh, that is really cool.
You know, given that their entire image is about exposing pedophiles. QAnon. I haven't heard shit.
No, haven't been brought up once.
Oh, Mason, thank you for the $5 Patreon.
Thank you, Mason.
Thank you, Mason. I can get a cup of coffee.
It's just all propaganda.
Oh, God, yeah.
and you know, QAnon being most likely a Russian puppet effort, they definitely don't want the Epstein files out. They'll lose their leverage.
You cut out.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want, Russians don't want the Epstein files out, and if you go with the idea that QAnon was a Russian subterfuge, then they definitely don't want them out, because then they lose all credibility to hold people hold
Accountable.
something over people.
Yep. Okay, so again, that was our episode. I think we should come back next week and talk some more. What do y'all think?
Yeah. This was a good one to kind of also vent, but we did it go down a dark rabbit hole.
We didn't go down a dark rabbit hole, so we will be
There's
back.
many-
Well, we
times
got a
we
couple
could've.
of rabbit holes, but
No,
But
we
none of them went dark.
For
us.
makes you smaller.
so we will be
This was
back
a
next
well
week
crafted for us.
at the same bat time, the same bat channel, where we will be talking more shit, and it won't be as packed as this episode because we don't have to talk about 41 days of things in an hour and 2 hours.
Although I might have plenty more to say about the tariff situation after tomorrow
Yeah.
kicks off. So well, that may be a topic that is a long, unfortunate running statement for me.
Listen, Mason, all you got to do, it's gonna, like, they are always on. Even if you can't make it to when it's on, don't forget that you can always watch it. I leave them up so that you can watch it at your leisure. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Tell your liberal friends or your conservative friends if you want to piss them off.
Hey, I was about to say, if you just want to piss somebody off, if you have a coworker who you absolutely just want to be like, hey, you should listen to this thing just to see how angry they get the next day, feel free. I would absolutely love to have a conservative person hop on this thing and try to debate with me. I want a national debate. Like,
at some point, one of the ideas that I have coming up is something I want to do when I have when the funds are available, is get do a call in. So people can actually call in and listen, and they can give their ideas and their things, and like we can debate them. We can be debate bros, yo.
That'd be great. It'd be fun.
I'll just be like, I could be the one that's like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
And I could take 30 seconds while you're calling him an idiot, him, her, them, an idiot, and pull up enough information to tear them apart. Tyler,
First
with
of
all
all,
his knowledge of that side of it, would be great.
why, if you brought a Bob Ross wig to the painting party, you did what you were supposed to fucking do. You understood the assignment. The people that you work with are terrible individuals, and they need to be destroyed.
For those that are curious, the reference was, I'm already on thin ice at work for bringing the Bob Ross wig to the painting party.
That's what the Bob Ross wig is for.
Not a mistake.
That's not a mistake.
That was the perfect costume, Mason. Well played.
Well played.
Absolutely.
Fuck, those are you happy trees, bitch. Happy trees.
Happy little trees.
This is our little bush here in the corner. We need to get off this damn thing.
Yes, we need to get off of
I
here.
fucking love Bob Ross.
But I work with Germans.
But I work with
my
Germans.
God.
Okay. All right, guys.
On that note.
On that note, thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on the after the stream is over, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We love you guys, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.